Hey buddy, hope you're traveling well. Ranganthittu. It's often referred to as the biggest sanctuary in Karnataka. Yes, the sanctuary area is pretty big, but the zone in which tourists are allowed is less than 1 square kilometer. This might sound like a small place, but what happens in the natural world inside this tiny space is spectacular. Let's start with how Ranganthittu was formed. The sanctuary that we see today wasn't like this before the 16th century. Kings of the 16th century started working on catchment areas across Kaveri to conserve water, and since then, one of the largest reservoirs in South India today is the KRS Dam. So when water collected on the other side and released, over a period of time, what happened was this drying and flooding cycle created a lot of erosion pits and rock beds. This in turn gave birth to a lot of islands in between, and Ranganthittu is one of them. These islands invited a lot of winter visitors, and over years, Ranganthittu became the spectacle that it is today. The best part of it is you can't see such a concentration of winter birds in such small area anywhere else in South India. Being a mere 17 kilometers from Mysuru, Ranganthittu is a day trip destination from Bangalore and a weekend destination from Chennai. From Bangalore, Ranganthittu is a 3 to 4 hours drive, and that's it. And from Chennai, if you take the Mysuru Vande Bharat Express on Saturday, you reach Mysuru at noon. You can stay in Mysuru, start to the sanctuary early, and then be there at 8 a.m. And then half a day is more than enough to explore Ranganthittu, and you can board the Vande Bharat back to Chennai at 1 p.m. So obviously, you will be home back for dinner. The best time to be there is during Jan-Feb. People generally say October to March is okay, but the problem is in October, November, and maybe even in December, the water level is pretty high. Of all the birds that nest in Ranganthittu, pelicans are the biggest. They have a wingspan of about close to 8 feet. In most places, you would see pelicans swim like boats in water. But in Ranganthittu alone, pelicans seldom swim. They actually don't land in water at all. This is because the pelicans of Ranganthittu know that there are a lot of marsh crocodiles looking for an easy meal, and pelicans being big birds, they can't take off from water just like that in case of an imminent attack. So to handle this problem, they've worked an ingenious way. They nest in the islands in between the river in Ranganthittu, which protects their eggs and chicks from land-based predators. And then they fly to the KRS catchment area to fish and bring it back to their nests. Ranganthittu gives land safety, whereas the backwaters of KRS are safe to fish. So these pelicans, they figured out a way to get the best of both worlds. Each pelican parent makes multiple trips each day, bringing back fish filled in their gular pouches. Generally, a pelican's nest holds 2 chicks and sometimes 3. And 3-month-old juvenile, like what you see here, eats about 3 to 5 kgs of fish every day. So for a nest of 2 chicks and the parents themselves, both parents tirelessly need to fish about 10 to 12 kgs of fish every day. The pelicans might be scared of the marsh crocs, but there is one bird much smaller than the pelicans that scares the shit out of the marsh crocodiles. I'm talking about the river terns. They nest on bare rocks that's very much in reach to the crocs, but still the crocs will not dare come anywhere close to a river tern's nest unless and until they wish to become blind. If at all a foolish croc attempts to get on the nesting rock, the terns will take off to dive right into the croc's eyes, making it blind. The terns teach us an important life lesson. Irrespective of your size, know where to hit, even the biggest bully will run away. Another species of bird that is a tactical nester is barn swallow. They build mud pouches on the underside of rocks, and during the nesting period, you can see hundreds converge and dart away from and to one single rock. And Ranganthittu is one of the very few places that gives you a chance to see it up close without having to use a binocular. Just make sure you don't get too close and scare them away. You can witness all these spectacles by taking a boat ride in Ranganthittu after getting the entrance ticket, which is like $50. Normal boat is about 70 per person, and the special boat that can accommodate about 4 to 5 people is a much better option if you are ready to shell out around $1,500 for 40 minutes. Jan-Feb is just around the corner, so pack off your stuff to Ranganthittu, man. See you next week with another destination. Until then, travel more, travel safe. See you, buddy.